In this journey and all that you've gotten to experience,
Yeah.
what gives you the greatest satisfaction?
Seeing my brand grow out of nothing, out of just an idea.
Literally, your family came through as your source of capital. Grandma,
Well-
one, your father came through secondly. What did it mean to you, and how significant is family in terms of growing
Well, it was
business?
very humbling, like when a family comes through to you, because then it means like they believed in me. When COVID struck, that was in 2020.
Yeah.
So nobody's doing weddings. Nobody's going to the office.
Oh yeah, weddings are virtual.
Yes, everyone is working from home. I remember there's a time, because I have a social media page, so I could just post a suit, and then somebody will ask, well, those are very nice suits. But now, where will we wear them to?
Because you're all working from home.
Yes, everyone is working from home.
Good evening and welcome to the Late Night Business. My name is Ian Dennis, and as always, we're coming to you from the Capital Club, the place you need to be. At the Capital Club, you have a wide array of amenities here. Where we're filming this is one of the meeting rooms. There's a restaurant to get to entertain your guests. You can actually, there's a spa, there's a gym, and it's so much more. Once you're a member of the Capital Club, you can get to enjoy all this and literally get to conduct your business right here. As always, I have two of my books, Food for Thought and Business Conquest, and more coming out. You can get them at the Textbook Center. Just get to learn a few things around business. And as you can actually see, looking all dapper, courtesy of Lugo collection. As a Lugo, I say Lugo collect soon. Because that's how you always get to look, what's it called? That's the best way to actually just get to dress yourself and look quite sharp, especially in the corporate world. They say you are who you dress, or rather, you are how you dress. And with me today, just continuing from the conversation we had last week, I have with me Mr. Maxwell, who's the founder of Lugo Collection. So in the past episode, I'm just trying to recap what exactly we talked last time, but you can actually check out the episode on YouTube. We're just talking about the interesting journey of how Lugo came to be. So Lugo literally started out with just an initial capital of 40,000. From that 40,000, which Maxwell got, 20,000 was a loan from the grandma, another 20,000 he sold his laptop. He came all the way to Kisii with that 40,000 to settle in Nairobi and try to literally set up a business in Nairobi. And in the initial phases of trying to get a few clients, he got a few clients and the business started picking up. And then something interesting happened, and you're going to be continuing this particular conversation, is that your dad was not for you doing business,
Yes,
but eventually dad, what's it called? Dad primarily, having seen you literally push yourself out, he decided now to also invest in the business.
Yes.
How did it come? How did it
go?
go?
So after doing this business for about an year in this friend's workshop, so I decided now let me go and start my own place. So I told Dad, now since I've been doing this business for 1 year, I would like to expand. So he told me, okay, I can get you a loan. So he got me a loan of I think around 100K. So 100K, I was able to go pay the rent, because see the shops in town are very expensive.
They're very expensive. You 2
Yes.
months rate.
But of
goodwill.
course, I'd already seen the dream, so I was just focusing on the dream, because even if I get this shop, because the shop was I think 40,000 a month, so I was able to pay like 2 months rent or 1 month to 2 months rent, 1 month deposit. Yes, and then I started. Actually, I'm still in that place up to today. So my dad's loan, I was able to pay it within that 1 year. Yes.
And how did it, what did it mean to you? Like literally your family came through as your source of capital. Grandma, one, your father came through secondly. What did it mean to you, and how significant is family in terms of growing
Well,
business?
it was very humbling, like when a family comes through to you, because then it means like they believed in me. Yes. Though initially they didn't, but at least after seeing,
You've pushed enough.
But you see, as I understand from where it came from, because then as a parent, you also don't know if this thing will work. I was also not 100% sure that it will work. It was just the faith. Yes. So it's something that really has encouraged me when family came through, and also my grandma, because I was very lucky that when I was now rising from the business, at least my grandmother was able to see, like I was able to succeed in that. Now the second business that I was doing. Yes.
And so it's a business primarily you started, what's it called? You had a tailor that you used to work with.
Yes.
Eventually business grew, you decided now to get your own space.
Yes.
How has there been a journey of growing out the business over the years? Because it's been more than 10 years of existence.
Yes.
Have you continuously grown the business whereby, because I've been to your space and it's quite huge.
Yes.
You have like almost 15 workers.
Yes.
How has it been in terms of that transition and growth over the years?
Well, it's been tough, but at least we've soldiered on. Yes. So initially, when I started, like when I made my first suit, and I saw like this is now the standard that I want to maintain. So I've always concentrated on like the quality, the craftsmanship. So I'd rather make very little profit, but the customer is happy. So through that one has really pushed me, has really pushed my brand. Another thing I've also done is branding. You see, most businesses, you start a business, but then what is your brand? What does your brand stand for? So I've branded my business. So when somebody is wearing a suit, then you can say, I'm wearing a Lugo, or I'm wearing a Lugo suit.
By the way,
So
the name Lugo? Why the name Lugo? Because if it was the normal Kenyan, ingeshikanisha Maxwell na Konguka ikwe Maxwell or something.
Maxwell outfits or something like that. Yes.
Konguka wear.
Yes, or Konguka designs.
Why did you decide
will still
Lugo?
work. But you see, when I was starting, I went through thousands of names. So I was like, do I call it urban wear? But of course, urban was so cliche. So and then just Lugo just came. It just popped out of nowhere. And I said, now I'm sticking with this one. This one sounds like it suits, sounds like
Italian somewhere.
Yeah,
sounds international.
It sounds international. It can go well with my brand. And it has helped me grow.
And how's been the process? Because you mentioned you decided on the brand and you wanted to build the brand.
Yes.
Has been the significant factor. What's been the process of now building a brand? How have you built this brand, or what are some of the insights you can share to the audience with regards to building a brand?
Well, usually I usually try and put my brand as a mark of quality. If I do a suit, then it's something that if you wear, I know I'll get a referral. You know, there are instances where I'll come, I'm sitting in the car, then somebody will call me from nowhere and will ask me, hey, are you so-and-so? Yes, I'm so-and-so. Yeah, I just met a guy on the street and he was looking very sharp and asked him, where did you make this suit? I mean, it is true story. Like, you know, somebody might think maybe it's that I'm just saying, but somebody just called me literally like, yes, okay, I'll send my husband, or I'll come. Yeah, because I saw, or people will be meeting in the office and this one is wearing a nice suit, and then this one, oh, where did you make your suit? Now I made mine at Lugo. Yes, so that one has really pushed me to grow up to where I am.
And why did you narrow down to suits and what's it called, both gents and gentlemen, gents and ladies?
Yes.
Why did you narrow down to suits? Because primarily when you get into the business, there are so many different options.
Yes.
Why did you narrow down to this?
Yes, you see, if you look at the suit, suits are timeless. It's a timeless piece. So the designs will change a little bit, but it's something that you can do over the years. They don't really change that much.
True.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And in terms of just starting out, so I always like to get this particular progression, because you know sometimes you always think that someone just landed in this particular place.
Oh yes.
You're not a tailor yourself. You started working up with a tailor.
Yes.
And then you moved to your space. And then how did you now start? How was the process of hiring? What made you make decisions at what time to hire and just grow the team? Because when I was there, like, you have a very big workforce. How was this particular natural progression?
Can I take you back? You see, when I told you my sister had a tailoring shop.
Yes.
So before now I started Lugo, I told her to teach me a little bit about cutting and stitching. So she taught me, at least I could maybe stitch like a skirt, something very simple. And I think there's a time I was able to even stitch a bag. So I just took a bag that I had, I cut the fabric and I reproduced it like the same bag. So at least
you had an idea.
I had an idea when it comes to stitching, though I haven't stitched in like 10, 12 years. So what has made me, like, when it comes to hiring a team and maintaining good staff is the quality. I will not just hire you because you are a tailor. I have to look at the quality of work. So I have a standard. And then also, and this is maybe advice to upcoming designers or entrepreneurs in general, you know, if you have a good team, your team is your net worth. So if the team is good, then your brand will grow. But if you have a bad team, then you see the brand diminishes. So what also made me, like, when I'm looking at the tailors, I will look at I'll look at the quality of the work, because you see, the initial suit that I made, the first suit that I made, the client was happy. So I'll always try and maintain that same standard. Yes.
And when you're doing an interview, or maybe when you're trying to hire your team, what are the initial qualities that you look at?
Well, first, I'll give you an interview, and then once I've given you an interview and I've seen your work, then now I'll ask you, like, where have you worked previously, and why are you leaving the place where you're working? So, and most of them will tell me maybe where I used to work, maybe the pay was not so good, maybe my boss was not paying me well. So I think what I was saying before I moved back is, if you're going to start a business, ensure like you pay your employees. Yes, because I think that is also a challenge, because you find somebody will work, and then when it comes to payment, then now maybe the phone is off or something.
Oh, somebody's busy.
Somebody's now all of a sudden they're busy. So I think that has really helped me, because most of my employees have stayed for the longest. I have people who have stayed with 5, 6 years. Yes.
And when you look at it in terms of success, because primarily you started off slowly, you've grown the business to where exactly it is, and it's self-sustaining.
Yeah.
We never really focus more on the mistakes that you've made and the challenges you've experienced.
Yes.
What's the biggest mistake and the hardest season that you've actually been through?
Well, the biggest mistake, well, I won't call it a mistake. Maybe it's just a challenge. Yes. Just before COVID, I decided to learn now. Now you see, now the business is growing. Now I want to open a branch. So I went to Nakuru and I opened a branch there. That was in March. I think it was in March of 2020.
Ah, that's when COVID has now kicked in.
I have paid already a 6-month rent, a 6-month deposit. And then, so I went to Nakuru, I took the shop. So when coming to Nairobi, so I was planning to move to Nakuru and set up the shop and everything. COVID. So that was quite a challenge for me. So I think I don't say it's a mistake.
So you never really moved to that? To rent?
No, well, I did after, I think around September, I think COVID was dying down a little bit. So I moved there, but since it was still during that season, so people were not yet at work, people working from home. So I decided to close it down after 1 year. But it was not like it was a bad investment. It was just the timing.
Yes,
timing was
just wrong.
Yes, timing was wrong.
And you've since expanded into photography.
Yes.
Because I saw your studio. You have a huge studio.
Yes.
I think you told me like you have 7 photographers.
Yes.
What made you diversify, and what are some of the indicators for you to now diversify to get into photography besides just making suits?
Yes. So if you look at my background is in finance. So in finance, in business school, we are taught about diversifying your portfolio. Like you have to diversify the risk, so you just don't rely on one business. So the reason why I moved to photography was just to complement my business, because you see, I do a lot of shoots for my outfits. So it was a way of reducing the cost, the amount of money that I spend in photography, and then it was also a source of income. Yes, so it's something that they complement each other. Yes.
So how do you go about running out these particular 2 main businesses? The photography business is huge.
Yes.
How do you go managing your day, and how do you go ensuring that all businesses are able to sustain themselves?
Well, over the years, I used to run everything by myself. Like I was the receptionist. I was
because even in Lugo.
Yes, Lugo. Yes. So I did that. Then now it reached a point where now I felt like maybe if I got someone to assist me, then I think I would be able to do more things. So usually I have every business has I have the managers, I have the receptionists, I have so I've categorized them. So the photographers, the reception, the makeup artists. On this other hand, also have a manager. Yes. So my work is just to oversee the daily running of the business. It's a bit tough, but we are managing.
You've literally started humbly and managed to grow a business organically over the years. What has success taught you?
Well, what success has taught me? Well, I'll say like. You can start from you can literally start from nothing and get something out of it. Yes, so that's what I say maybe success has taught me. Yes.
And a question I like also asking all my guests is regards to money.
Yes.
What are some of the money? What's it called? What are some of the mistakes around money that you made, and how do you? What are some of the philosophies you handle around money? How do you use your money? How have you managed to learn to grow money and all that? Because with
Yes.
success comes money.
Yes, with success comes money.
Yeah.
But now, if you look at my story, when I started, like I wasn't sure if this thing was going to work. So every little coin that I could get, like I could try and save it. So that has given me that discipline, so that even as the business grows, I don't like now have a lot of money. Let me go party. Let me go do this thing. I usually try and invest in another business. You know, the challenges that I think most Kenyan business or businessmen do is failing to diversify like your portfolio. For instance, you find a business grows. Let me say, for instance, Lugo grows into a big suit company. Then you start opening branches and stuff like that. But then something might just happen, like now the business maybe there's no cash flow. You know, in business there are rainy days. And sometimes those rainy days can really rain. You know, in Luo we say ajiki, you know, that rain that doesn't stop. Yes. So what happens in that case when now there's rain in the business? You know, if you had another business elsewhere, I think it can sustain this one for that period when there is that particular turmoil. Because I've seen there have been very big businesses that have closed in the past, very big, multi-billion. But then when the business failed, like when that particular business failed, then they could not pick up. But assume they had diversified their portfolio, maybe they have another business. Maybe during that time they could have put the money that they from this other business on this business to keep it afloat. Yes.
And in terms of leadership and management, because there's also, I also just like dwelling also on that.
Yeah.
You have a huge staff.
Yes.
What's it called? Based on the two businesses that you're fully into.
Yeah.
How do you go about what's your leadership style? How do you go about managing all these people? Because you've mentioned some of the employees have been with you for like 6 years.
Yes.
What keeps them with you?
Well, I think I'm very I think I'm very easy with them.
Yeah.
I'm very easy with them because I believe that they're adults, so everyone knows their role. If there's any issue, I just call them in my office and then we talk it out. I will not go shouting at them. If I have a particular issue with someone, I will not go there and tell them, why are you doing this in front of the other staff? So I just call them and then talk to them. And I think that mutual respect has really made them gain trust in me. Yeah. So I will take that's kind of my leadership style. Like it's called like servant leadership. Yes.
And in this journey and all that you've gotten to experience, what gives you the greatest satisfaction?
Well, the greatest satisfaction is seeing my brand grow out of nothing, out of just an idea. I don't know whether I still have those papers where I used to write the name. Can this name work? Can this one? Yes. So looking at the journey, I think that really gives me a lot of motivation. Sorry. Yes.
And what's it called? In terms of your journey, what's it called? There's so much into this particular trajectory that you've been into. You've talked about, what's it called, some of the worst decisions that you've made.
Yes.
And you've also talked about the aspect of rainy days, which is actually something that most businesses, what's it called, get to experience.
Yeah, you'll have to
How do you
that.
handle, or maybe how have you managed to handle the different rainy days? How do you plan for them? When the business is not doing well, or maybe the seasons are not doing well, how do you handle that such periods?
So one thing that also made me to now diversify, like you see when COVID struck, that was in 2020. Yeah. So nobody's doing weddings. Nobody's going to the office.
Oh yeah, everyone virtual.
Yes, everyone is working from home. I remember there's a time because I have a social media page, so I could just post a suit, and then somebody would ask, "Well, those are very nice suits, but now." Where will we wear them to?
Because you're all working from home.
Yes, everyone is working from home. Yeah. Everyone is working from home. So I could just tell them, no, I'm just reminding you of still in the business. Yeah. Yes. So during that COVID, you see, we closed for like 3 months. So I have this business in Nakuru that I've not even started. I've paid rent for 6 months. I also have this one. I have employees that are supposed to be paid, but now we have to close for 3 months. So I was like, if I had another business, at least maybe it could be operational. I could be able to offset maybe the debts. Because you see, when you close your business, the landlord will still want to take rent. But lucky for me, I think the landlord, I was able to pay like 50% until I think after 1 year.
Yeah.
Then I was able to like
Recover.
now pay the balance that had remained. So they were a bit lenient.
So
Since
at least
of
lucky
course
now.
I'd also stayed with them for
For a
quite
long
some
time,
time.
yeah.
So they trusted me.
Interesting.
Yes.
So before you wind up the show, I have like 10 quick-fire questions. So I'll just give them to you. The first question, what do you think is the greatest risk you've ever taken?
Well, I think setting up that business in Nakuru,
What were you most afraid of as a child?
I was afraid of darkness.
What's your hidden talent?
My hidden talent.
Yeah.
I think I'm a good speaker.
Money or happiness?
Happiness.
Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm both. I'm it.
What do you think the meaning of life is?
Well, life is just fulfilling your purpose in life. Yes.
How do you usually start your day?
I start my day with a prayer. Yes.
What scares you?
What scares me is maybe losing my business because that's my baby. Yes.
What's your hobby?
My hobby, I'm sort of like an indoor person, so maybe watching a movie or two.
What's been your best age?
My best age is in my mid-20s to early 30s because I started my business in my mid-20s. Yes.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I think my late grandma and of course, my parents. Yes.
And then the final question, would
Yeah.
you rather have more time or more money?
That was a tricky one. More time or more money? I think more time. Yes.
Why?
I think with the time you can get money. Yes. But you can have money. For instance, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
If somebody tells you today, I'll give you like $20 million. But then you won't live to see Saturday. Will that $20 million help you?
No, I wouldn't even take it. I wouldn't even think about it.
Exactly. So time.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
No, thank you so much for our conversation.
Yes.
So whatever. I really like this suit. Kabisa. So I think I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to this particular partnership.
Yes.
Hope as an audience you've learned a thing or two from this particular conversation. I always believe in buying Kenya and building Kenya. So go
Yes.
ahead and support Lugo Collection, who you're going to be partnering in this particular show.
Yeah.
As always, I want to remind you that two of my books, Food for Thought and Business Conquest, are actually out at the Textbook Center. So go get yourself an order. My name is Ian Dennis. This has been the Late Night Business. Until next time, I'll see you right here on KTN.